Hello, I'm Kads, and welcome to today's video. So once again, the portal is alight with the lovely purple hue, meaning it is once again time to pull some shards. Yes, it is 2x voids, and it's honestly been a long time since I've done these outside of a fusion just by happenstance, so I'm excited to see what we can get today. But of course, we're never pulling without a purpose, so we are trying to be strategic here in the Champion Chase tournament, and we have set our sights on the first Legendary Tome here at 3,000 points. I personally have no vested interest in trying to compete to get Hansel here, even though he is the top reward. I'm probably actually capable of winning this outright, depending on how hard people go near on the last day, but I don't typically participate in stuff like that because it's typically just a whale fest, and that is just not my style. It's not really my thing, and I don't think Hansel is worth blowing up all my shards on my account or anything crazy like that. So our goal is the Legendary Tome here at 3,000 points. And to kick things off, we do have the free summon here from the summon pool. I only ended up doing just the Soul Chase tournament. I didn't actually max out the Sand Devil Turn Attack tournament. I think on the last day I needed like 1,000 extra energy in order to dump into it to get the free summon, which would have cost a ton of gems. I was just like, nah, not really in the mood to burn all my gems, or burn a lot of gems just to get, a free roll here. But we'll see nonetheless what we can get from the one Prism Shard. Once again, not expecting a legendary because we got one last time, so we should get our deserved epic, which is another Neldor Rhineblade. Good for hard mode Fire Knight with the freeze on the A1 as well as his passive, where he can join in when other allies place freezes. And I believe that is, well, we can check it out together. I think that is a +3 or maybe even a +4 for my Neldor. Let's see, +3. There you go. We'll do it live here. +3 on the Neldor. He's actually not in my hard mode Fire Knight team. I didn't end up needing him, but I have used him on occasion in the Cursed City when he's available for specific rotations of that variation of hard mode Fire Knight. Now, of course, we can hop over to the portal and focus on the main event, starting off with the overall shard count on the account, which is 764 on the Ancients, 270 on the Voids, which of course we'll be dipping into today, 43 on the Primals, and then 59 on the Sacred Shards. And there is technically also the 10x for Onryo Ieyasu from the Void Shards, but I mean the odds are decent if you happen to get a legendary. I think right now with the current amount of legendaries, Void legendaries in the pool, it's around a 15% chance, so 1 in 6-ish if you get a legendary that it's going to be the one feature on the 10x for Void Shards. So it's not the worst odds in the world, but I don't really expect that to be the case because we're not really expecting a legendary. If we take a look at Mercy here, you can see that we are kind of just in the middle of nowhere. We're not really close to Mercy, but we're not super far either. We're literally just in the middle. So if we get bad luck, we don't get a legendary, then we build up and we get closer to Mercy. And if we happen to get a legendary, sweet, then we get a new legendary and we reset Mercy. So anything can happen here, and I'm not really expecting a result one way or the other. As far as who we're looking for, there are a couple of epics on my list that are previous fusion champions that I would like to just have on my account for like faction wars efficiency or speeding up the times, etc., stuff like that. So Slixis from the Lizardmen and Diana Doompiercer, I believe, from the Dwarves. That would be nice to get those epics on my account because I sacrificed them for their respective fusions, of course. And if we do happen to get a legendary, number 1 on the list is Yumiko, number 2 would be Grisor, and then number 3 would be Siffi the Lost Bride. So without further ado, let's get into the pulls. We should have enough space. We have a decent amount of cash, and you know what? Let's just go for average luck. We don't need anything crazy to happen on this pull session. So here we go. First 10 pop, we have 250 banked in the Champion Chase, and once again, the goal is 3,000. Honestly, all we really need is like 1 to 2 epics per 10 pop, and then we're going to be in a pretty decent shape for getting points. Getting 10 rares is not the start that we were looking for, but nonetheless 500 points in the bank, which brings us up to 750. So we can basically throw that one away, and hopefully we can start to crank up the 2x rates here and start to get some epics. There we go. Now we're getting it. Skull Crown, pretty fun champion. I guess she's kind of like power crept as far as arena nukers go, but old school. That's definitely like a +1 for me, I think, on my Skull Crown. And then Weregren would have been nice like 5 months ago for Lady Mikage, but I ended up fusing him with the rares, the void rares that you could use, and so he's probably just a duplicate for faction guardians. That 1100 points would bring us around 1900 or so, just shy of that. So maybe one more 10 pop, maybe one more past that, depends on how many epics we can get or how many legendaries. Pause champ. Towering Titan, honestly don't know what he does, and that basically tells you everything you need to know about him. Ostrox Bone-Glaive, I think he has like block buffs in his kit somehow. Yeah, pretty decent probably for Faction Wars, maybe for Hydra if you're really getting started with that, pretty decent. Lightsworn can be kind of useful for Revive on Death teams for the Sand Devil. I think those aren't as popular as compared to like, you know, super speed teams with the Sleep Champion and some newts and whatnot, but nonetheless, for those alternative teams like the one that I run, he could work for sure. And then Lua, pretty decent nuker. I think she's well known for this Cold Heart-esque ability, not enemy max HP, but nonetheless depletes the target's turn meter by 100%. And with that, I'm pretty confident that we did actually get out to the Legendary Tome, so we can kind of call it a day there. I know obviously, you know, voids are worth a lot of points, and I could easily go a lot further, but I think voids are very, very precious because void legendaries are extremely hard to come by, so I'd rather play more around Mercy if I can have bad RNG than just kind of waste a bunch of void shards hoping for a void legendary here and there. So I think, yep, that's going to do it for the progress towards the Legendary Tome. 3,500 or so, a little bit of overshoot, but we happen to get 4 epics on the last 10 pop, and that's just how the cookie crumbles sometimes. So we'll take the Tome, we'll take the Immortal, and then we'll take the Mortal. So overall, I don't think we got anything amazing there, but we did get a good amount of epics, which is a good amount of points, and we're able to get a +1 for my Skull Crown here. So she's just a little bit more powerful, which is kind of nice, a little bit more attack, most notably in terms of that. But yeah, nothing crazy happened as expected. We didn't pull that many voids. I think we pulled 30 in the end, which is honestly a really good return in exchange for a Legendary Tome. Plus, there's also a chance that I'm able to shuffle out some Faction Guardians, and maybe that can lead to more epic empowerment. So might be a bigger win than it might seem on paper. So we are going to keep this one short and sweet, so that is going to do it for the shard pulling session. Let me know in the comment section down below if you were pulling for 2x voids. Did you happen to get a Legendary? And if so, let me know who you got. As always, if you did enjoy the video, then be sure to hit that like button down below. It really does help out the channel, and feel free to hit that subscribe button down below as well. Thanks for watching, and have a good one.